snowing. All the dope I stepped on. Real get the rush gone. Been that nigga, what else you want?
It's Do or Die in Chicago. Welcome back to Fog Entertainment's Power Book 4 Force Season 3 Episode 1. It's always a mouthful with the numbers when it comes to this franchise, but yeah, after a long wait, the third season is finally here. It's the final season. It's Do or Die time. That is what the title of the episode is called. And what happened? Well, let's not waste any time. A wee bit late to the party. It did come out 4 days ago, but here. It's here. It's getting reviewed nonetheless. Let's get stuck straight into it. Episode begins. Massive ass fucking recap, by the way. It was like 5 minutes. Must be one of the longest recaps to a season I've ever seen in my life to season 2. To be honest, I needed it because it's been 2 years, and that's the problem. When you wait 2 years between seasons, people forget, and I forgot half of this. Like I knew like key points, but if I went into this episode without this recap, I'd have been snookered. But obviously, season 2 did end with everyone potentially brawling, fighting for territory. But the key thing was that, oh, Miguel took Mariah. You're never going to see her again, Tommy. And that, my friends, goes completely out the window within the first couple of seconds of this episode, because she's like, oh, Miguel, you can't keep me locked up here, man. I love Tommy, senorita. And it's like, really? These relationships that Tommy gets into, it's just a wee bit crap. Right? Just a bit crap. I mean, how many fucking people can a guy get into relationships with and they get killed off? And it's been done to death, right? I'm not saying you can only have one wife your entire life. Oh, the rhymes are sick, but I don't know, man. I feel like it's getting to ridiculous points here. Like, proper TV shows don't make like the main character have like 7 multiple spouses. And try and make each one more important than the last, right? It don't work like that around here, pal. Thought this was pretty boring. She's pointing a gun to him, pointing a gun to herself. We move on. CBI then take Vic Flynn. He's bricking it off. Fuck, they think I'm a rat, which of course they do. In fact, they know he's a rat, but they keep their cards close to their chest at this point. But the DEA raid the location, and at this point, they think Victor Flynn's dead. But of course, he's not dead. Tommy then confronts Miguel. He's like, where is she? I love her, man. Nothing's going to keep us apart. It's like, Tommy, you are a killer, a drug dealer. And I'm not saying those people can't love, but you've known this woman for all fucking 2 episodes at this point. It feels like the relationship and the bond can't be that strong. It feels like they are forcing this to further the divide between like Tommy and Miguel and the crews and the Chicago, the gangs. I just didn't really. I thought this was cringe for Tommy Egan. I really did. Like, if we go back all the way back to season 1 of like Power and those seasons. I mean, it's gonna probably devalue my point, but I can't actually. Holly, that's her fucking name. I genuinely felt like there was something with Holly, but that lasted like seasons. With Tommy and Holly, right? And then Lakeisha, that didn't feel as forced. This to me feels forced. It feels forced in force. Oh, where is she? And then it's like he just lets him live. It's like, surely wouldn't it be easier for Miguel just to fucking kill Tommy? And Tommy's like trying to get to Miguel through like 500 of Miguel's guys. Boring. Mirkovic, he's inside. Guy puts down a wee letter. He takes it. He dies. He gets drugged here, starts dying, allergic reaction, I don't know, overdose, poison, whatever this was that killed him. Markovic is dead. I thought Markovic was alright. You know, your generic Eastern European character. Could have done more with the guy. He's dead. It is what it is. Victor Flynn. They're all thinking he's dead, so yeah, you've got this Stacey character. I still want Tommy. I want Tommy. It's all she's doing. It's like, Jesus Christ. But then the Democrats rock up. It's like, you would have the full backing of the Democratic Party if you went for mayor. Okay. And then Shanti, she's essentially getting blamed here as the rat. Tommy and Diamond tell Victor Flynn that she's the rat. It's alright. That takes the pressure off him. But then, which I think is ridiculous, like Victor Flynn like walks up the stairs, like leaving the room they were in, but there's no door, bear in mind. And like Diamond and Tommy are openly talking about, yeah, Victor's the rat, but here he's our rat. We'll work him to our advantage. It's like, couldn't he not have heard this? Anyway, wee bit crazy. Those two agree that they're going to take the Serbs pipeline. We're going to go to the Albanians. They go to the Albanians, but it turns out the Albanians are with Miguel, so that is a non-starter. Claudia Flynn, she's still alive. Correct decision for me. I think it would have been weak to have her die last season. And why is she being kept alive? Well, she tells the wee attorney guy that this is all a setup and Tommy and Shanti are the ones behind the attacks and all this. And he's like, oh, your story checks out, so you get to live. Okay, and then he tells her, yeah, by the end of the night, Tommy and Shanti, they're gonna be dead, damn it, they're gonna be dead. Victor then tells Stacey, oh, Tommy thinks Shanti's the rat, I'm alright. She's like, here, Victor Flynn, this could be very dangerous for you because there's no proof that that is the case. And it's so fucking true. It's like, can't you see you're being played, Victor? It's so obvious. And then, like, yeah, in the recap of the episode of last season, it's Victor killing that cop. He's like, Victor, you don't have to do this. Obviously, like, referring to the fact, like, yeah, you've ratted, you don't have to do this, there's a way out, kind of deal. Now, maybe even if he didn't rat, the cop would still plead for his life in this department, but wee bit cringe to me, David. Victor then gives Polly's widow a bunch of money and an envelope saying, you and Polly were like family to me, mother and father. Give this to the US attorney if anything happens to me. Yeah, King Kilo then talks to Gennard. He's like, here, see D-Mac, I want him dead. I can't sleep at night. Fuck the policies, fuck the deals and the peace that we need to keep with Shay. No, I want him dead. So Gennard then tells Shawnee, she's like, if he's giving you a week, then maybe we keep him alive for 2-3 weeks, make him foam at the mouth and make him strike out at anything that moves. But then, what happens is Diamond then just fucking tells Gennard, fuck it, kill him. Because Tommy's betrayed me because he slept with Mariah and hampered that relationship with Miguel. So yeah, I think Diamond wanting D-Mac dead kind of surprised me. He confronts Tommy over it and they kind of get into it. And he's like, any more fuck-ups, Tommy? I'm out. And Tommy just kind of like accepts it, which I thought was surprising. Then the Marquez cartel lead the ambush on Shanti and Tommy. Tommy and Shanti kill them all. Like, they're simply there to kill Shanti and Tommy, right? The guy's entire crew's been wiped out, and he's like, I want to hear you beg, Buddha, putting the gun to her head. It's like, hold on here, mate. You came in like 8-on-2. It's now down to 2-on-1, and now is the time you're going to fucking do this. Ridiculous. And then Tommy just chokes the guy out, and then Tommy and Diamond end the episode by confronting Fick. At this point, all truths are out. They know he's a rat. Fick's fucked. And Tommy says, you're going to be our inside guy. You're going to tell the feds everything. That we want them to know, etc, etc, etc. I mean, I thought the episode was decent, but again, the whole ambush was pretty retarded. And this bit at the end, like, the fact that they're letting Victor Flynn get out of their sight with no leverage, like, why doesn't Flynn just tell her, here, they're on to me, and instead they want me to be the inside man? And then they would be forced into moving him. They'd have to be. So yeah, it's not going to work. It's not going to work for me. Anyway, I'll give the episode I'll give it a 7. They crammed a lot in. It was pretty good, but yeah. Would I be surprised as the best episode of the season? No. Absolutely not.
It may be late, it may be out of date, but we're here with your Power Book 4, Season 3, Episode 2 review. Skip my season there. We're back in Chicago, recording this on the Christmas morning dog walk, so yeah, bear with me. I have not seen anybody yet. As soon as I say that, a car's about to drive past. That's pretty funny. Anyway, so yeah, episode begins. I haven't watched this in literally haven't watched Force in about 7 weeks, because I watched episode 1, and I mean, I'm not saying episode 1 was bad, but I've been extremely busy with work, and the problem is, though, if this was actually a good show, like a great show that I loved, it would be watched. You know what I mean, folks? Like, there would be no mistake about it. But here we are, episode 2 begins. Fick's getting waterboarded by Diamond and Tommy. And essentially, he's going to be their little bitch. You tell me everything she knows, well, you give her dick. And not literally, alright? And he's lives to fight another day. But the leverage here is that if Fick does anything, then Tommy I'll kill Beth. You may be like, who's Beth? Of course, that's, what's his name? Not Walter, Polly. Polly's wife. So, again, pretty much the sole reason she got introduced. So Tommy would have leverage over Vic. But, I mean, I know we can go, oh, but he loved Polly. You know, this is the same guy that sold out his sister numerous times. Literally shot his father in the face. I think to save his own skin, he'd be willing to do the business here. Would he not? I mean, come on. Play the game, son. Don't really understand it, but anyway, moving on to bigger things. He visits Claudia. Claudia's like, what's going on here? You're working with Tommy, you're Tommy's little bitch. He's like, how about you shut up? Because pretty soon you'll be a bitch. Somebody's bitch in here. We now own, CBI now owns the Viagra Triangle. Her girlfriend Becky, just a weak ass character. Shanti's like, oh, you'll never be able to run these clubs, and then we see later in the episode she's not, because one of the dancers like charges a guy 250 instead of 150. Oh hell, almost breaks loose. Right, but this Stacey thing gets served. I completely forgot her and the guy on this task force were even married. But my problem is this, is it's like, we then have a conversation between Claudia and her, right, and they're simply talking about, oh, you want to bring Tommy down, don't you? And it's like, right, why are we pretending that Tommy Egan couldn't have been brought down ages ago? Like, absolutely ages ago. Like, let's not pretend that this guy couldn't have been brought down seasons ago. In Chicago, there's a big dairy truck with milk drives past me. This guy's literally involved in shootings every episode, right? Every episode in public places. You may be like, oh, but that happens in most TV shows. No, see, in most TV shows, like the actual, like, proper good ones, when the main characters are involved in these types of instances, they lay low for a couple of episodes, or it becomes like the norm of the season, or they've been laying low since the get-go. I mean, look at The Sopranos, for example. Tony didn't do shit. Like, if you think of it, everybody Tony killed was very secluded. He didn't go dropping people in broad daylight, and that's what Tommy does. Drive-by shooting. Oh no, can't go to the hospital. No. Not with his priors, the last questions, no cops, yada yada yada. And it's just like, this guy has killed so many. He literally blew up a fucking warehouse in broad daylight. What if Miguel had fucking security cameras footage? Trying to tell me the cops wouldn't be investigating that? Or we'll look at your CCTV. Now obviously, I don't think they had CCTV on a drug warehouse, but come on, man. This Tommy guy's too explosive, and the plot armour this guy's got, the only difference is I actually don't mind Tommy Egan. I think he's a funny character, yada yada yada, but I think the plot armour this guy's got, compared, if I could compare it to other TV shows, I look at The Walking Dead. He's got like the Daryl Dixon, the Carol Pelletier plot armour, where they can just kill thousands of men and get away with it with no repercussions. Like this Tommy guy, it just feels utterly ridiculous at this point. It's like, if you want to kill him, kill him. You know, Tommy, reel it in, son. Arrest him. Guy gets away with fucking murder. You get D-Mac. I want to do a score. I don't want no fucking salary. How am I supposed to like this D-Mac character? He's just a thug. Doesn't want to go to school because they're like, shave your dreadlocks off, right? He's no doing that. Then he doesn't want a salary. He wants to run drugs. Brilliant. He wants to deal drugs like his uncle. Such a likeable kid this guy is. I mean, say what you want, but at least he likes a Braden and Tyreek in the original show, or no, like Part 2 as well. Like, at least they've got like a bit of compassion, and there's like redeeming qualities about them. Like, I just look at this D-Mac guy, and it's like, the quicker this guy catches a bullet, the better. We didn't see JP text Tommy, oh, Kate's away back. Boring. Tommy kills the shooter, and then Diamond made a phone call to the Marquez cartel. Brilliant. Miguel then phones a hitman. Oh, you're the best. You're the best shooter this side of the river. And it's like, well, putting a lot of hype into this guy, he better deliver. We then see a couple of scenes with Gennard and Tommy getting heated. Obviously the whole gimmick is that Gennard and Diamond are going to kill D-Mac. I hope they do, because I can't stand D-Mac. But yeah, Tommy didn't like the fact Gennard stood up, but it's so true. Why is Gennard getting treated like a fucking jobber in his own crew? That even like he said, 15 years. Then he bigs up Chicago and he's like, this cartel ain't gonna do shit to us. We ain't New York, we ain't Detroit, we ain't any other of these cities. We're going to do this and we're going to stand strong, because no one comes into our city and fucking runs it. And it's like, well, hold on here. Tommy Egan has literally come into your city. Not only does he run your city, he literally took your own crew from you and you've sat there like the little bitch that you are. And I don't know if that's a writing problem. I mean, and you could clearly see when Gennard was talking about it, he looked at Tommy while saying it, like, your days are numbered kind of thing. But it's just pathetic, the plot armor this guy's got. It is, I mean, there's better ways to write it, but yeah. Anyway, and then the episode ends with Chavo, Cartel taking out Chavo, who was the one at the coalition to voice his opinion about going after the cartel. So yeah, guys, that is it for Force. I mean, decent enough episode, but I'd be lying, man, if I sat here and said to you that it's great TV. It is. I mean, there's action, there's some funny scenes, there's gore. I mean, it's probably one of the better shows that I'm watching. I do prefer Welcome to Derry, even if Welcome to Derry is a lot more woke. But come on, man, you watch this and it's just fucking ridiculous. Like, oh, they're trying to bring down Tommy Egan. Why are we pretending that it is impossible? It's like with the cartels, they hide. You know, they're never out in the streets. Tommy's out in the streets every single day. So deal with him. Anyway, 6 out of 10. Leave your thoughts down below, and peace. Episode 3 of Season 3 of Power Book 4 is in the books. I've reviewed it, well, I say I've reviewed it, I've watched it, and now you're about to hear the review of it. So yeah, I'm back to the channel, Fog Entertainment, and I think the Flynn family has been utterly fucked in this show. Like, utterly, like, absolutely fucking gangbanged. Could it be because it was one of the only family in the show that was white? Probably. I mean, honestly, Walter Flynn, jobbed out by his own son. His own son is a little fucking bitch, and the daughter, who's got the most going about her, but she's dead. She will die soon. Just a fucking, I mean, I thought this episode was alright, but I cannot believe how bad what's happening to Victor Flynn. It's actually fucking insane what's happened to this guy. I want to wrap him up quickly here in a nice wee bow. Anyway, Victor Flynn slept with that woman for the last episode. She's like, you're not my type, you're the one night stand type, but not my type. Right, when he was going through her bags, he found theatre tickets, and he's like, oh, I'll go back in there, because he's trying to get in on Stacey and this campaign course for mayor. And it's just like, look how easy it was for him to get into this woman's pants, man. It's like one night stand city, and that's just the fucking reality in 2025. Oh, you're not my type. But then it's like, oh, you're into theatre. Oh, now you are my type, but you'll happily sleep with him just for the sake of it. She was a whore, right? A whore. And this is just the reality in 2025, folks. See, if you want your hole, you can go it like Victor Flynn here. Now, obviously, Victor Flynn, this guy doesn't look like a big bag of shite. Now, if you look like a big bag of shite, you're probably not going to get it. But reality is, it's easy. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy, brother. Alright? Because people are very fucking easy. And then Victor Flynn reports this all back to Tommy. And then that's when he goes later with the theatre tickets and gets back in with her. And her friend's like, here, it's not often a Tony like this walks in the bar. It's like, well, hold on, he walked in last night, she opened her legs like a fucking whore for him, so it is easy. He's playing her like a fiddle. But Tommy's like, yeah, once you do this for me, you're done. Like, done. Now get the fuck out of my face. And it's like, well, hold on here. Victor Flynn. How much of a fucking shite bag is this Victor Flynn guy? Tommy essentially just told him to his face, here, I'm using you because you're a rat, and once I've ran out of you, you're dead. And then Tommy gives up his bars here to a bunch of Albanians, and it's like, what is even left? What the fuck is even left for this guy? Nothing. So yeah, Victor Flynn, made to look like an absolute jobber, but at least he's getting his hole on the way out. And we're supposed to believe that Polly's widow is enough to keep him here? Is that enough incentive? I actually just find that absolutely mental, that that's supposed to be the fucking the massive drawing point here, to keep him in Chicago and doing all these fucking shitey tasks for Tommy Egan. It's just crazy. It is absolutely just crazy, folks. So yeah, it is what it is in that regard. Anyway, moving on. Chavo, his body gets dropped at the Barbers. I mean, Diamond is nowhere near enough pissed at Tommy here. Just isn't. It's like, nah, man. It's like, you'd expect more. But obviously some of the crews are flipping here. You get the United Kings pulling out. Oh, you guys, hermano, we got family in Mexico. This cartel beef bad for us. It's alright for you. It doesn't just stop at Chicago for us. So they pull out. You got other people pulling out. King Kilo's on the verge of pulling out unless D-Mac is dealt with. So Diamond and Gennard put D-Mac in their trap to go after this crew that are affiliated with police. And then D-Mac puts together a couple of these guys and with guns, and it's just, this D-Mac guy, overbooking him to the hilt. I mean, here he is with a couple of jobbers, has went into this crew that's protected by police, took all their money, blew them up with a grenade, and it's like, why isn't this guy in CBI? Look at the amount of people in CBI that just get caught with a bullet and they're dead. They're at the games. Oh, like, oh, Bones, I'm going to get the medical wire for Bones. Ridiculous is what it is, right? But I thought this storyline with D-Mac's actually pretty interesting, because it's like, oh, what's going to happen here? This is surely going to cause a rift between Tommy and Diamond, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out. Miguel apologised to Maria. He's bought a pig. Why has he bought a pig? Nobody really knows, but CBI's got the DSD's back. Then Tommy gives the guy money and they walk away. Claudia's protection gets pulled, but then she buys her own protection, and the woman that was going to kill her actually ends up getting killed by Claudia. He's like, I don't stab from the front, bitch. It's like, because the white bitch devil's here, or something along those lines. So yeah, she kills her. Brilliant. The mayor does a speech, and then it's revealed to the people in the report, oh no, fucking, oh, she's got a divorce, that's not good. She's just went from leading the way to middle of the pack candidate. It's like, who cares? Oh, but her husband, he's in Chicago PD, and that was the reason why she was so strong, and we need her. And then she admits later, like, she's the only one that can stop the crimes and the drugs. They'll never stop it. They will never stop. And this isn't a power book problem. See drug dealing, man. No. You need someone to actually, like, clamp down on it. And yeah, I mean, Donny T might be it, but I tell you what, for free, these fucking jobbers ain't gonna do it. And then it's like, oh, we need to bring down Tommy Egan. All these people asking about Tommy Egan. I mean, Tommy Egan commits about 5 crimes an episode. Why are they pretending they can't get him? Then it's revealed to a Stacey Marks person that there was a clerical order, thing with the warrant, and that one of, like, the numbers on the address for it, so it looks like the case against Marquez is going to get thrown out. We then find out that the guy who was the clerk is actually dirty, and he's in with the Marquez cartel, and it's like, does this not just show you how corrupt everything is? That because a simple fucking number was wrong on a warrant, it's unlaw and unjustified, even though they caught them with so much illegal shit. The world's just fucking pish, man. The hit is off on Tommy, and the guy who's supposed to deliver the hit then gets took by Miguel, who tortures him, gets the information he needs, and then feeds him to the pig. And they get called off because the Marquez cartel want to take Tommy out themselves, but It's like this guy gets brought in, oh, he's the most deadliest shooter this side of the river. And or the lake. I think they're on about Lake Michigan or whatever the fuck. And it's like, so hold on here. This guy's supposed to be the best shooter and he just gets wiped out like this. Alright, I mean, he does get threatened with getting his balls cut off and fed to the pig, and he ends up getting chopped up and fed to the pig anyway. But all this hype for a guy that was just nothing about. Tommy meets with the Serbs, right? And I didn't get this. So Tommy goes in, unstrapped, and he's like, right, I'll give you revenge on Marquez. That's a common thing for us. And the new leader of the Serbs is like, well, that's brilliant, Tommy. I just happen to know the exact location of Marquez's uncle. And it's like, so hold on. You know the exact location of Marquez's uncle, but you're not willing to fucking act on it and get revenge for Mirkovic? How weak did this make the Serbs? And it's like, Tommy and then the other guys rock up to get revenge, and it's like, yeah, the Serb leader goes with them, but how weak? Oh, but they didn't want to go against the cartel. This just makes everybody. I think this is the problem with Power, right? The real problem with this fucking franchise. There is too many fucking spins. Alright, we'll join up. There's this coalition. We're tag teaming. I went back on this deal. See, in the fucking real world, folks, right? See, if you go back on one too many deals, you can't be trusted. I know cash is king and all that shit, but see if you watch like other TV shows, see if like groups pull the plug on one another, there seems to be the straw that broke the camel, the straw that broke the camel's back. But see, in this franchise, it doesn't matter what happens, you can come back for it. Like, look at the amount of times like Tommy and Ghost feuded with each other, tried to kill each other, ended up killing people they cared about and loved each other. And they ended up being back to best pals. I know it's different because they were always best pals, but anyway, man, I thought the Serbs looked incredibly weak here. I think Victor Flynn looks incredibly weak. The only white guy that looks any form fucking strong in this show is Tommy Egan. But he was established before the world went to fucking Wokeville. So yeah, I mean, a bit absolute mince if you ask me, and that's pretty much how the episode ends, because D-Mac rocks up, gives the good information to Gennard, and Diamond's like, well, yep, that's you back in CBI. And then of course what happens is Tommy walks in and he's like, what the fuck, you mean you back in CBI? So I mean, that's a good way to end the episode, a good cliffhanger. Looking forward to episode 4. I'm going to watch it here when I get in. But yeah, I mean, I think there's just a lot of problems with this franchise, and it's been evident since season 1 of Power, all the way back in 2014. I feel like there's just too many. So you've got too many crews and groups, and it's like, see, once there's one betrayal, man, it shouldn't lead to like another 17. Is my point. But I thought this episode was pretty good. And I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Looking forward to episode 4. Going to watch it when I get in. Peace. Well, back guys to Fog Entertainment. It's not our usual surroundings today when we're doing this review. No, I'm on a boat, alright, and I don't have my notes. Well, actually I do have my notes in my bag, but I ain't getting my notes out to review Power Book 4 Season 3 Episode 4 in a public place would be a bit weird. So what we're going to do is we're going to do it off of memory. So we're getting there. I'll probably watch another episode tonight of it, but I feel like things are beginning to get into gear. So the episode begins. Tommy is obviously confronting Gennard, he's confronting Diamond, and he's confronting D-Mac about the whole situation. And I tell you what, I think Diamond and Gennard did a pretty good job of covering their own tracks here, and essentially said, well, they had to do it, had to bring him in close because he killed King Kilo, which, I mean, yeah, valid point. I mean, to come up with that in the fly is pretty impressive, but Tommy's like, here, you ain't in CBI, so get out of here. And then he tells Gennard, right, like, here, I'm talking to your brother, so you piss off. I actually think the way Gennard has been treated in this show, it is nothing short of fucking crazy, folks. Like, if you actually look at it, this guy ran CBI for 15 years, and albeit Tommy and Diamond right, I think we can all admit, are doing a better job. Even though you could say, well, he kept them going for 15 years, what's going to be left of them at the end of this season? I mean, that's a valid point. I'll take it on board. But at the same time, man, absolutely crazy. Let me take a drink of my hot chocolate. It's freezing. I'm going to step back down here. I think the top deck of a boat is the best course for action, but it's the way he speaks to Gennard, and Diamond just lets it happen. But this episode, so essentially, Gennard sorts it out with King Kilo, says it wasn't D-Mac that killed him. We thought it was D-Mac. It turns out it was actually this guy called Rashad, who was leading like the Sons of Destruction group, and the Sons of Destruction were about to walk away from the coalition, and they didn't, because their number 2 guy, you could tell by the way he gave Tommy the bag, like, oh, I don't want to give you the bag kind of deal. So that was kind of interesting, like, oh, what's going to happen there? But I think the death, right, that Tommy gave this Rashad guy, I mean, he's a fucking psychopath. Let's call a spade a spade. Tommy Egan is a psychopath. See, in terms of a main character that is like the lead of a show, I don't think you'll get a more, I know we can talk about like Dexter, right? But I mean, Tommy is like literally torturing this guy for nothing. I mean, I know you can say, oh, but he has to make it look like this guy was the one that killed King Kilo's nephew. And here, I'll take that on board. But the way Diamond and Tommy killed this guy, like, I mean, take out the King Kilo side of things, man. I'm not convinced they just don't kill him like this anyway. Like, I'm not even taking the piss. I think they just fucking, they're sick. And Diamond doesn't even question it, which is even more insane, man. But anyway, then towards the end of the episode, because all was made good there, even though Gennard does tell King Kilo here, if you want me to kill D-Mac just for the sake of it, then I'll do it. and then King Kilo like thinks about it and he doesn't. And then it's at this point you're thinking, right, Gennard, this has surely got Gennard in good. He relays this information back to Diamond, and Diamond just tells him thank you. I mean, no wonder Gennard's pissed off here. He's like, hold on here, I'm jumping through fucking hoops, making sure everything's great, la 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 la, and you're just fucking jobbing me out, left, right and centre, you big diddy. Yeah. It's kind of fucking insane how, like, Tommy's come in. I don't think I'll ever rewatch this show, but in terms of Tommy Egan just sticking his fucking nose in CBI business and taking over, it's actually kind of insane. Easy, like, he was just allowed to do it. Anyway, what other stuff happened this episode? Stacey, Victor continues to play her like a fiddle. He gives his new girlfriend the donation for her campaign. He gives a whole lot of talk about, oh, here, DEI, man. She's like, oh, so you do know your history, huh? And it's like, how about you just shut your hole, jabroni, right? Shut your fucking hole. How about that? Talk about those apples, big man. And it's like, she's not even questioning where his donation's coming from, and obviously it's coming from Tommy Egan, so it's going to obviously hinder her campaign here, which is pretty funny. Elise is told by Claudia, here, I'm fucked, but if you can get Tommy on tape confessing to a murder, then I'll be alright. Who in the right fucking mind thought this was going to be a good idea? Given this Elise, who couldn't even confront one of her own workers a couple of episodes ago, who thought that was going to be good? No one. Anyway, fentanyl's hit the streets. The guy that's in with the cartel, but he's also in the government, he's worried about this because Stacey's going to clamp down hard on Marquez so they can put a timeline together. And this is so fucking weird. They're like, yeah, one of these guys killed was an LGBTQ fucking advocate, so they're going to care about this drug death. Well, isn't that just brilliant? Oh, everyone else that dies, fuck you, you're straight, but you're an advocate for LGBT, so it's alright. I'm on in then, on in. I mean, it's like, what the fuck are we? Play the game, son. I tell you what, it's fucking freezing out here, man. My fingertips are going fucking numb, reviewing power. Anyway, she tries to record like the recording of Tommy Egan and Tommy Egan obviously does not admit to killing anybody. Again, why did Claudia Flynn think that at least talking to Tommy was going to get him to a murder? Now, to be fair, on the tape he was like, I'm going to kill you, but then he also knew she was like taping him, so I tell you what, he's like, yeah, next time I'll kill you, but killing you is not on my to-do list today, which I thought was pretty funny. And yeah, I mean, Marquez gets a blowjob for somebody in the prison. Looks like she was wearing a uniform, so well done to Big Marquez. Miguel got him that. There was a meet with Shay. Tommy's like, you know what, I know there's been a lot of bodies hitting the floor, but how about you triple the product and I'll sell it all. So yeah, I mean, we'll see how that goes. D-Mac is then told by Tommy and back at CBI. You see how this show just fucking does constant flips. Tommy's been consistent with CBI. D-Mac's like, you're not in it. And then he's like, I said, so fuck it, you're in it. Nah, you can be in it. And it's just, yeah, man, absolutely fucking insane. And I'm pretty sure that's just, that's the episode. I'm trying to think anything else that happened. Well, yes, Claudia got released because she's going to give up intel on the Marquez cartel, and she also told Stacey that if she gets released, that Tommy's going to try and kill her. Again, how retarded does this make Tommy? It's like, oh, this guy's so safe, man. You'll never arrest him on a drug charge. We might be able to arrest him on a murder charge. Claudia Flynn gets arrested, and this guy's outside the government building with his hood up, about to shoot her. Like the guy says, not careful. Like, seeing you look at other shows and how like well protected to a degree other people are when it comes to this shit, when it comes to like evading the law, and then you watch Par, it's like, what the fuck are we doing here? Racing our ping pong. Anyway, I'll give this episode a 6 out of 10. I'm going to watch episode 5 later, but as for right now, I'm going to warm my hands up and I'm going to go in and play the puggy machine, hopefully win some more money. So till next time, peace.
Another Flynn bites the dust. Welcome back to Fog Entertainment. It's the midway point of the final season of Power Book 4. Power Book 4, 4th season 3. It's a mouthful when you try and get these spin-offs of the Power franchise out there in the intro, but we're there, halfway through the final season. And yeah, like I said, another Flynn bites the dust. R.I.P. to Claudia Flynn. If you didn't want spoilers, then here, I'm going to put it in the title, so don't greet. This episode's been out for about a month. I'm getting caught up now. I didn't even know she died, but I do know now. And yeah, I mean, I liked Claudia Flynn. Thought she was a decent character. I think it's all too predictable though, the way she goes out. Tommy killing her. By God, that wouldn't have took much of a brainstorm. And I thought the scene was fine. We'll get to it later, but there was one line that Tommy said to her that really fucking annoyed me. And he calls her the baddest Flynn. No. Now here, I will accept her being more badass than Victor Flynn, who, for whatever reason, is the last one left. He is a literal rat, he's a literal cuck, and he's a literal jobber. He's not the guy that I thought he would turn out to be. When this show first started, you got Tommy Flanagan playing Walter Flynn, leading the Flynn family. I'm thinking, maybe Victor Flynn's going to build this legacy into the future seasons of this show. Victor ends up killing Walter, then rats pretty much immediately. And he was already a cuck in season 1, but I could almost look past that if they built him up and something, but no. And Victor's still alive, so yeah, I mean, Claudia, for me, is better than Victor Flynn. Better character, yada yada yada. More badass, I'll accept that. Actual good character development there. But to suggest that she's more badass than Tommy Flanagan, did we see his final scene where he walked out with a fucking shot-off shotgun and was dropping people left, right and centre? It was great till Victor shot him. Some great lines, some great moments, and is it any wonder this show died on its arse for me as soon as Walter Flynn died? No, definitely not. But let's get into the episode. So, episode begins. A white crew called the Yardies hit a drive-by on CBI. Turns out this is the crew that Tommy attacked in season 1 when he first arrived in Chicago, and they're only enacting revenge now. I don't know what the timeline is, but I'm going to assume even though it's been like 4 years since season 1 came out, I'm going to assume in the show it's been about a year. Why are they only getting revenge now? Crazy. Wheelchair guy gets killed. Tommy wants to meet with Claudia. Stacey's like, right, you can meet with him, but we need to monitor the whole meet. The meet goes ahead. He spies on it and figures out that she's made a deal with the police, and he's like, here, you shouldn't be talking about dealing drugs at your wee nightclubs because you don't know who's listening, obviously implying that he's fully aware that the police are listening, and he doesn't want to incriminate himself. Stacy meets with this old white guy, big bad Chicago Police Department. He's like, if you give me $100K, then know what we'll do? I'll back you, and so will the CPD, Chicago Police Department. But then she's like, nah. Then the police turn their back at her press conference. Things aren't looking good for her. She needs a big donation. He then tells her, if you give me $150K, 50% on top of the $100K, then I'll make the CPD work. But she keeps denying it. I'm not doing it. I'm not agreeing to that deal. Then later in the episode, she is confronted by Tommy and Victor Flynn, which we will get to later on. Gennard and Diamond, they want revenge on the Yardies, but Diamond, he came across so weak here. He wanted revenge. Then we see the meat go down, and then it's like he's getting in bed with the Yardies who just killed a few members of his crew. Then he reveals, as long as you give up the guy that did the kill, then we're good. The Yardie guy refused to do that, and then CBI essentially wipe out all the Yardies. I thought this made Diamond look weak, even though he still killed the majority of them. It made CBI look so pathetic, albeit for about 15 seconds, but by God, I was really questioning the guy's leadership. At this point, Claudia has like a final conversation with Victor, wanting to take back the Flynn dynasty. He rejects this offer. He's like, nah, I'll just be Tommy Egan's little bitch. Then his new girlfriend rocks up and she's like, she's familiar. He's like, oh my God, that's Claudia Flynn. How does she recognise Claudia Flynn but not Victor Flynn, who she's dating? Retarded. He tells her everything. He points out, I'll let you go, but I know if you go, my whole life's destroyed. He's like, yeah, I used you at the start, but I love you now. So she joins him back. We see Tommy and Victor have a conversation back and forth. Oh, your sister paid me a visit, but I know you know that kind of deal. He then points out about the art student that was the one that was testifying against Victor, which led him to that. So Tommy goes to her, gives her 25 grand, makes her film a video, and lies that Stacey Marks forced her to give that statement against Victor Flynn. So in order to extort her, they record that, they leverage it. Stacey then gets hit with about 10 things at once. Holy shit, Victor and Tommy are working against me. She then accepts the money for Tommy. And at this point, Stacey Marks turned bad. Tommy wants to kill Claudia. Victor's willing to give her up here as well. Victor just wants his sister dead. Right? So that happens. She pulls the protective detail off Claudia. She escapes the security. Elise then gives her up to Tommy. Then we see Victor sitting down with a couple of Irish guys, and they're like, here, you've jobbed it, Victor. Tommy's gave our bars to the Albanians, and you're sitting here with your thumb up your arse. Then Victor's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to step up to task and bring the Walter Flynn name back. And then what happens is, he leaves her a voice message. Claudia's like, yeah, you know, actually what you said earlier was bang on the money. I'm going to get back up onto task here. And then, Jesus fucking Christ, we get a shootout between Tommy and Claudia. I mean, it was fine, but it was so predictable. Like, she's never killing him. But seeing I watched the original, and the problem is, I knew he was killing her. See, seeing the original Power Show, I'll stand by this. I think the rooftop shootout between Proctor and Tommy in, what episode was it? Well, I know it's season 6. I think it was season 6, like episode 8, around about that time. I think that is one of the best one-on-one shootouts in a TV show that I've watched. That is the highest praise that I can give it, because I've watched a lot of great TV between Tommy Egan and Joe Proctor. But see, watching it, I didn't even think, I thought Joe might escape. Tommy ends up killing him in the end. But see, this one, it didn't feel like that. It never felt like Claudia was going to escape. Doesn't escape. He calls her the baddest Flynn, lies, shoots her between the eyes, and that's her dead. He also gave $1 million to Elise to give up Claudia. Crazy. Maria, she's pregnant. Boring. Who cares? Conversation between Tommy and Shanti, because Tommy wronged Shanti to deal with the body of Claudia, and then they're discussing like the CBI's going after Yardies, and Tommy's like, well, I didn't sign off on that. She's like, yeah, there's some brotherly love going on there, and they're not bringing me and you into the loop. It's like, what?
all Tommy does is do deals for CBI and doesn't bring Gennard in. It's like the pot calling the kettle black here. I don't understand how these two can be. These two are literally cooperating behind Gennard and Diamond's back by getting rid of Claudia Flynn's body. But and all they've done throughout this season and the previous seasons, like Tommy and Diamond have went against Gennard. It's pathetic, man. Here's Diamond and Gennard dealing with a problem that Tommy created, mind you, and Tommy's bitching about it. Makes no sense. They meet with Shay. Shay's like, well, your brother or Diamond, as long as you make me money, I won't kill you kind of deal. We laugh. La 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 la. Maria cleans up the blood. Tommy arrives back. Oh, I thought this was going to be... I thought I was going to beat you back for the hospital and I was going to clean this up. Obviously, she was going to tell him that she's pregnant, but now she doesn't. She lies and she's like, oh, I made the final 3 for the promotion. And Tommy, fake as fuck, oh, that's so good. That's so good. Oh, this guy deals drugs. He's like a millionaire. Probably close to a billion. Well, he's not close to a billionaire, but he's got a lot of money. Deals drugs, drops people on the every day. And here he is pretending to fucking care about her wee promotion at work. No, this was so fake, but they weren't doing it from a fake perspective. They were actually pretending that Tommy cared. See if this was The Sopranos and Meadow or AJ or Carmella came in with similar news like this. Tony would pretend to care, but that's the way they would script it. And it would come across like he didn't give a fuck, because he doesn't give a fuck, really. Here, it felt forced. And at the end of the episode, there was also like a napkin that said Barcelona on it. Is she going to flee to Barcelona? I don't know. Is she going to get an abortion? I don't know. Anyway, R.I.P. to Claudia Flynn. Decent character. She's not the baddest Flynn. That's Walter Flynn, played by Tommy Flanagan, of course. But yeah, big character death. 5 to go. Looking forward to the rest of the season. Multiple more twists as we hit the second half of the final season of Power Book 4, Season 3. Welcome back to Fog Entertainment. And I said the final season of Power Book 4, Season 3. Season 3 is the final season. Let's just get into it. So the episode begins. Claudia Flynn, her body is strung up everywhere. At this point, your wee man walks in. He's like, here, the cartel case is dead. Stacey Marks ain't happy. I mean, this is so fucking obvious that it points towards Tommy Egan, and yet she's trying to spin it in a way against Tommy Egan, or I guess, as you say, from Egan. But it looks so obvious. So her and the wee guy, it's a double agent for the Marquez cartel. He wants to put it on Tommy. She wants to put it on the cartel. It made for quite a funny dynamic. The fat fuck that was working with him has been transferred and some other attractive, well, I say attractive woman. I mean, she's fairly attractive. She's probably about mid-40s. Looks no bad there. Looks a lot better than the fat fuck, the Jabba the Hutt, the Jaffa Cake Muncher, whatever you want to call her. That's what she was. Vic, right, I thought this scene was fucking crazy, by the way, and not in a good way. So Vic Flynn and the 2 Irish guys walk into the Albanian bar, outnumbered, 3 on what, 12? What was Vic Flynn, right? What was he expecting for walking into this bar, by the way? No, seriously. No. What was Vic Flynn thinking walking into this pub? He get made to look like a fucking dick is what happened. The Albanians tell him, go and give Tommy a wee back massage. Tell you what, you can go give me a fucking back massage. No homo, my back's fucked. I don't know what I've done to it. Anyway, they walk out with their tail between their legs, and he finds out his sister's dead. Not very good. Tommy and Diamond have a conversation. Oh, don't ever let that happen again, Diamond. Is that not embarrassing? The way Diamond lets Tommy speak down to him. Obviously, this season is I think the way it's going is with this episode. I think Tommy's going to end up on his lonesome, and then he's going to reach out to like Tyreek and co. I have no idea how it plays out, but something like that's going to happen. I'm expecting a lot of bodies to hit the floor in the last couple of episodes. The police think the Marquez cartel took out the Yardies, so we see Stacey's ex at this point, and some guy plant evidence on fucking Miguel's number 2. After the meet with Shay, Tommy and Diamond, they're happy doubling everything Shay's got, and Shay's like, oh, Miguel, if you can't do it, I'll give it, if you're slacking, I'll give it to Tommy.
No, but his number 2 gets arrested, and he got caught with 5 bricks on him due to some dirty police work. It's funny how it's like, oh look, these cops are dirty, right? These cops are dirty. The guy actually had 5. I mean, the guy had 5 fucking bricks in the boot, and he belonged to Miguel's organisation. Let's not pretend like the way this is done. It's almost like white cop bad, right? But it's not like they planted fucking evidence. There's only one guy planting evidence this episode. It was Tommy and D-Mac. Definitely. So anyway, Miguel meets with the Marquez guy inside. He's like, I know where Tommy's going to be, dinner with me. And he's like, right, my grandfather was this flower, yada yada yada. Either Tommy dies or you die, Miguel. She doesn't get an abortion. Brilliant. Tommy then confronts Fick over Claudia. He basically tells Fick to know his role. He's like, on my first day in this city, I fucked your bitch and I broke your best man's arm. You're not a bad boy, Flick. Your daddy was a gangster. Don't make you one. Tommy just fucking annihilated this guy. Like, seriously, right? I know they're never in a million years going to kill Tommy Egan, especially in this spin-off. They're going to do it. It'll be some big show down the road. But fucking hell, you would expect some form of payback for Victor Flynn. Personally, if I'm writing the script for the next 4 episodes, I'm having Victor Flynn try and get revenge on Tommy and kills Maria and the unborn baby, because that guy needs something. He needs some form of win, because all he's picking up is L. Gennard goes to speak with what do you call her, Shanti. And she is fucking... I actually can't stand her, man. Just fucking greeting because he didn't bring her along to the meet with Shay. We know for a fact this Shay guy doesn't like meeting with outsiders. Imagine if Diamond brought Gennard and brought Shanti next to him. It's actually embarrassing, man, the way she's fucking acting bitchy around him here. Gennard should have fucking backhanded her. Know your role. Seriously. Like, this was actually embarrassing. It's like, we're not talking about just some random fucking... This shit guy's serious. But you didn't introduce me to him? What? Know your fucking role. Actually embarrassing. So Jay sets up like this fentanyl connect to Hong Kong. Obviously, D-Mac robbed these people a few episodes ago. That's definitely going to blow back in their faces. I'm looking forward to that. Tommy sold the guns earlier in the episode to get the Ariations on board. Some fucking Golden Desert Eagles, some MW2 type shit. If you know, you know. Gennard's not happy about this. But in order to pass the fentanyl, Diamond says we'll do it through the coalition. So obviously that'll be against Tommy's wishes. He doesn't like fentanyl, damn it. He doesn't like it. Maria gets Tommy to bail out Miguel with the 5 million and then pay the 10% of the bail, which is kind of funny. D-Mac frames the Marquez soldier. And at this point, your wee guy that's double teaming thinks, "Oh shit, I'm in the doghouse." We then have a conversation between Fick, Tommy, and Stacy. Fick just buries Stacy. He's like, "You know your fucking role. I'm Victor Flynn. I killed my daddy. I killed that other guy. You're gonna do everything he says, or else we're gonna fuck you. Because all you do is spew lies. You're as dirty as us." I like this wee outburst for Fick. Then he took back the pub for the Albanians. So the Irish, the Flynns, they're getting a wee bit, you know, they're getting a wee bit of their name value back, so to speak. D-Mac and his girlfriend, boring. She's a bitch as well. Fuck me, what is it with the women in this show? They're always cunty bitches. I mean, Claudia was a bit of a cunty bitch, but at least she could fucking back it up. Maria's alright. I'll give Maria that. But there's a real lack of... I think there's a real lack of likeable women in this franchise, fucking even. Honestly, I like Jukebox, to be fair, but yeah. Anyway, episode pretty much ends. You get the freeway dinner between Tommy, Miguel, and Maria. Miguel, after finding out that she's pregnant and Tommy loves her, he's like, "Oh, Tommy, stay for dessert. Don't let my hitters kill you." But obviously, he was told if Tommy doesn't die, you die. So it looks like Miguel is going to have the target on his back, brother. Anyway, guys, leave your thoughts down below. I will give this episode I'll get a 7 out of 10. I thought it was pretty good. I do think the logic, like, the writing's not the best, but there's plenty to dive into. and get your teeth stuck into. And you know what, man? See from a show, that's all you can really ask for. That's the bare minimum, well, the bare minimum from a good show, and I lag in mile. It's safe to say that Tommy Egan has left his mark on Chicago. Welcome back to Fog Entertainment. 4th last episode of Power Book 4. Force. A lot of words, a lot of seasons. I don't like calling it book, but that's the full title of the series, isn't it? And what was the intro referring to? Well, Tommy Egan killed Stacey Marks, to the surprise of no one. I actually thought it was pretty well done though, but we'll get into the episode. And fun fact as well, I thought the finale was done. I thought the show was wrapped up like a month ago, but it turns out the finale doesn't come out to the 16th of January, so I will probably definitely get the other 2 episodes watched, reviewed, and I think it'll be Fairy City until then. But obviously this premiered season 3 back start of November. Just took a while to get caught up and busy, work, etc, etc, etc. So yeah, could finally get caught up for the finale. Looking forward to it. But let's begin with the episode. And we had a nightmare, a literal nightmare. It was Stacey having a nightmare, everyone finding out, oh, Tommy, you're in bed with Tommy Egan, the biggest fucking drug dealer in Chicago. Wakes up, it was just a dream. Tommy then gets confronted by the Albanians. They're not very happy that some guys came into their bar, the Irish bar, and battered them and said they own it now. Now again, I think this is really shite writing. Is it not fucking obvious it was Victor Flynn and his crew? Now, they did. I mean, the Albanian himself didn't even fucking reference this. Peter, P-E-T, then a big R, right? He didn't even reference the fact it could have been Flynn. Like, look at the way the last episode played out. So Victor Flynn storms in, right, to the bar with 2 other guys. Gets made to look like the little cuck that he is. He tucks his tail between his legs. He then leaves, and then he comes back later with masks on. Does it not point towards him? Fuck the masks. It still points towards him. And again, I cannot believe what they're doing with Victor Flynn. It is actually fucking pathetic, to be honest. We then have an emergency coalition meeting. Fentanyl gets voted through unanimously. Jay then tells Tommy about this. Tommy's no happy. Gennard and Tommy getting into it throughout this episode, and let's just say Tommy Egan plays Gennard like an absolute fucking fiddle. Miguel, he rallies the troops, and in terms of what happens with him this episode, not an awful lot. He rallies the troops against the Marquez cartel, and then the 2 hitters, well, I only thought there was going to be 1 hitter, but then the 2 hitters come after him. He manages to survive it and kill 1 inadvertently in the process. Gennard rocks up to Victor's apartment, warns him, essentially tells him, here, you can kill Tommy, but he also says that Tommy will want a body. Is proof that the blowback for the Irish has been dealt with here. Again, here's Victor Flynn, let's just get to it, kills his friend that he grew up with just to satisfy Tommy, and Tommy's like, I couldn't give a fuck, just make sure it doesn't happen again. I can't be the only, I mean, I call it every episode, where are they going with this Victor Flynn guy? There's 3 episodes left. This guy is like, I've never seen a character so pussified in a TV show before in my life, and considering his dad was the great Walter Flynn, Tommy Flanagan, this guy was even quoting him. He's like, pieces for bitches, and then he smacked him with a shillelagh. I mean, he's like, there'll never be another one like him. Damn right, and his son Victor is never in a million years going to be like him. I can't believe Victor was actually the one that pulled the trigger and killed him. Downright disgusting, if you ask me. Tommy then meets with Stacey in the bar. It's kind of just goes nowhere. JP meets up with D-Mac. He says to him sorry, right? And what I thought was funny about this scene is he references when he came out to his dad and tries to compare it to D-Mac being in a gang. It's like, hold on here, right? I'm so surprised that in 2026 now there is a show that's trying to put on a similar playing field, that being in a fucking gang, being a gangbanger, is on the same level as being gay, because that's essentially what this is. He's like, my dad didn't speak to me for all those years after I came out, so son, I'm not going to fall out with you for being a gangbanger. Let's be a loving family. What? How the fuck is that even comparable? Crazy. Now here, I'll happily accept, and some people would rather their son be a criminal, a gangbanger, than gay, but I think between the dynamic between these two is not leaned that way. Anyway, is what it is. Marquez, he wants Egan and Miguel Both dead. Will this guy deliver? Who knows? He didn't deliver on Miguel though, and there was no attempt on Tommy this episode either. Diamond this episode, he's going off the rails. He's getting drunk as Big Diamond Samson. He's like, fuck it, pushing fentanyl into the jails. I don't care how many bodies rack up. I want the money. At this point, how much money's the guy got? A lot. Chisen confronts Stacy and there's like, well, what's going on here? He gets confronted then by the Marquez cartel. Gets warned, a stern warning that if you don't come up with the goods, son, your ass is grass. We're going to smoke it. So that was pretty interesting. Anyway, like I said, Victor Flynn earlier, killing his pal, delivering him to Tommy. Where is this character go? Can someone actually comment where is this character going? By the way, like, see it now. Like, what? I've never seen it before. I've never seen a character with so much potential. I mean, the writing should have been on the wall the first couple of episodes when Tommy rocked up and just, I mean, bitch slapped him about the place. Pathetic. And then he tells Tommy, oh, my new girlfriend's off limits, and Tommy's like, you don't fucking tell me who's off limits. And it's like, this guy just, like, they're never going to kill Tommy Egan, but I feel like the show needs to give Victor Flynn something. Like, last episode I thought was the beginning of Victor Flynn delivering, but it's like, well, see that takeover back at that Irish bar for the Albanians, what was that then? Was that just filler? What's going to happen in episode 8? The remaining Irish guy's going to be like, fuck, what happened? What happened? Anyway, Tommy plays Gennard like a fiddle here. He puts Gennard and Shanti against each other. So he finds out that Gennard was a druggie. I thought Tommy knew this, but he didn't. So he gets a stripper to sleep with Gennard and give him drugs and tells Shanti to go to the club at the same time. We can all know where this situation's going, brother. And yeah, this scene lasted about fucking 10 minutes. The meltdown, the breakup, basically said, no, you never loved me. And she's like, you could have had everything. And then she goes outside, destroys his Lamborghini. And, I mean, I never thought at the time, but this has massive ramifications, because Shanti then tells Tommy later in the episode that Gennard and Diamond were the ones that tried to kill D-Mac. They're the ones that keep putting them on these like hits to try and get him killed, but they try to do it without you knowing. And it's like, hold on here, you were a part of this. Why is this Shanti character getting away with it? Just because she's fell out with Gennard and Diamond, Tommy just lets her go. Well. No, don't work for me, brother. She wanted D-Mac dead more than the other two at one point. Gennard was the one that kept sparing them because he wanted to use him against King Kilo. Well, let's not forget about that. Then we got a scene with the D-Mac family dinner. My sexuality's fluid. Fuck up, jabroni. Shut up. Shut the fuck up, loser. Stacy then tells her ex-husband that they're currently going through a divorce. I'm compromised. He's like Tom Egan. She breaks down. Wah, wah, wah. We then got a scene with Kate Egan. It lasted too long, the scene between her and D-Mac on the phone. Well done, Kate. But this was fucking tragic. Let's call a spade a spade. Very, very, very tragic. Anyway, probably my favourite scene of the episode here. So, Tommy obviously gets told by Shanti about everything. He then storms in to the barber shop basement, confronts Gennard, confronts Diamond. D-Mac's there, and shit just hits the fan. Tommy gets booted out of CBI. Him and Diamond get into a massive brawl. I mean, realistically, if this guy didn't have plot armor, what would have happened here is that Gennard and Diamond would have killed him. They probably would have killed Bones, and they probably would have killed D-Mac, although, because I think Bones is definitely more on the Tommy side of things, but how Tommy's been able to walk out of here alive is fucking beyond me. But I really enjoyed this scene where a lot of truths get revealed and shit like that, and Diamond actually sticking up for Gennard for once, so fair. I mean, and also Tommy making it that because Gennard was taking drugs last season is such a horrible thing, right? And I'm not advocating for it, but it's like, hold on here, everybody in this show is on drugs to a degree. Tommy used to be on drugs in the original par, so well, but no one else knows that. Well, I fucking know it. The Fuhrer knows it, so don't insult my intelligence on that level. Marquez then reaches out to the hitman, the sole remaining hitman,
The word on the street, Maria pregnant, and Tommy Egan, the father of Miguel's sister, Miguel's sister. No, he's going to be the father of Miguel's sister's baby. So the hitman's like, fuck it, forget about those two, kill her and the baby, then we'll get Tommy and Miguel. So that's an interesting plot point for the next episode. Stacey then confronts Tommy after that pep talk with her ex-husband. You gotta be honest, Stacey, to the end. So obviously Tommy walks up, battered and bruised for his big brawl with Diamond. She goes on a monologue. He's like, here, I own you, shut the fuck up, we'll forget this ever happened. She keeps going on, and he just whips out a gun, shoots her in the stomach, and then shoots her in the head. So the next mayor candidate is dead. I can't remember what her actual title in office was here, but obviously she was high up in the police. Was it district attorney? Might have been that. Yeah, so Tommy kills her. Big character death. I thought it was a good episode. I feel like 40 minutes in, nothing really happened. But then you obviously got Gennard versus Shanti. You got Shanti telling Tommy. And you also got that interesting, great scene between Tommy, Gennard and Diamond. And then the end scene was pretty crazy. But only 3 episodes to go. Like I said at the start, 2 episodes are out. The series finale doesn't come out the 16th of January. So I should get caught up for that. And the Fairy Fids will be out in getting full traction on them. So yeah, leave your thoughts down below. I will give it, I'll get an 8 out of 10. I thought it was pretty good, even if it was, yeah, I mean, the whole fucking, it was so weird to hear him compare how him coming out and his son being a gangbanger was somehow on the same level.
In the third last episode of Power Book 4, business is picking up. Bodies are hitting the floor, and they're all pretty much a result of Gennard. So let's not waste any time. Let's get into it, because I want to get into this and watch the next episode. I can't remember the last time I was watching a show and I finished in it, especially a current show. It's alright watching old shows, but in terms of a show it's on in 2025/2026, I can't remember the last time I finished an episode and went, fuck, I need to see what happens in episode 9 here. So yeah, really looking forward to it. But let's get into the episode 8 review. Bobby, Big Bobby. He's at the crime scene. Obviously Stacey Marks is dead. He finds the phone. We later see him give a conversation to Tommy over the phone, who answered it, because Tommy's wondering, why the hell Stacey Marks ringing me? I thought I dealt with her. And then he tells Singh that we need to focus all of our attention on Tommy Egan, because he's the one that did it, because Stacey was in too much over her head with this guy. That's obviously music to his ears, because he's working with the Marquez cartel, and he wants any excuse to take it away from the Marquez cartel. And he is told here by the cartel, if you don't do your job, we're going to kill you and your wife and your entire family. And he's like, alright, give me to tomorrow, he'll be out of jail and the RICO case will be dropped. So that was interesting. Right, so Diamond, he's emphasising here to Gennard, right, you and Shanti need to lock down these streets. But Gennard doesn't tell Diamond about what's happening. Then Gennard goes has the conversation with Shanti. Obviously, after what happened last episode, this relationship's dead in the water, but you thought maybe they can be professional and keep business alive. But she completely rejects it and then jumps into bed, essentially, with Tommy, because Tommy, this episode, he's kicked out of CBI. He's going around trying to create his own coalition so he can get Shanti on board. He's got some Albanians on board, so there you go. That's pretty good. That's what I like to hear. Shay then tells Tommy he's got 24 hours or he's done. So episode 9, those 24 hours are going to be up. And Tommy, later down the episode, him and Miguel are partnering up here with Shanti. So Miguel, Tommy and Shanti against the Sampson brothers. Then you factor in the cartels. Fix running about doing his own thing. The next 2 episodes are going to be explosive. Not that this one wasn't, of course, but he needs an army. Does Tommy, absolutely. Fick receives a phone call. He finds out here that Stacey's dead, so Fick looks like he's going to go and do his own thing. Ace sounds rattled. The Raheem guy, who's like Gennard's number 2, is siding with Shanti. This is going nowhere. He gives her like a duffel bag worth of cash, which then she gives to Tommy and Miguel later in the episode to give to Shay tomorrow, so he doesn't chop all their heads off. The feds are at Tommy's house to then raid JP's house. Then, what do you call him? D-Mac, he gets booted out of the house that he was there with his pal, because he buried the guy. He's like, yeah, you say you're back in CBI, but when I got here, your mother was working 3 jobs and Shane had to quit one, son. And so he gets booted out. He moves in with JP. Well, I say moves in with JP. We'll get to that later on. Turns out King Kilo is getting out
later on, and how's that going to go down? Who knows? But Diamond comes up with a great idea of, well, you know what? How about we tell King Kilo that it was Tommy's nephew, D-Mac, that did the killing, and that we got all the information wrong. So they've told him it was D-Mac, then they've told him it was this other guy, and now they're telling him it's D-Mac again. You can understand why this King Kilo guy's getting pissed off. Absolutely. JP walks up, punches the fuck out of Gennard. How the hell you getting beat by that system, motherfucker? I thought it was a pretty funny line. So yeah, Kilo, he's out, he's having a wee party at the beach. Brilliant. Maria then gets confronted by the Hitman. Hitman gets a couple of shots in, but then she gets a shot of her own in. Then she runs over the top of him, kills him, but she doesn't even get shot or nothing. And it was at this point I was like, well, I thought something was definitely going to happen to her or JP. And when she survived this Hitman attempt, I just knew JP was a goner this episode. And what I will say is, I feel like they've already went down the route of Tommy losing a love interest, whether they were pregnant or not. They really need to reel it in on that front. So yeah, Vic, he then confronts Tommy, starts making him dance. He's like, who's a puppet now? Tommy shooting the ground. I mean, at least this gives Vic like a little bit of, I mean, he's still a bit of a jobber. He's still a bit of a cuck in my eyes. At least he got a bit of a W here. He got to make Tom Egan look like a little bitch. But then Bobby and the feds arrive, arrest Vic. Bobby tells Tommy that we're coming for you, and we're going to nail you because killing you'd be too easy. Tommy's never going to jail. But see, no, I don't understand, right? Why not have Tommy go to jail? He doesn't have to go to jail for the rest of his life. But like, I don't know when the next series is coming out of Par, right? They haven't really cleared that up with the him and Tyreek show. But why couldn't he do like a 5-year stretch inside? Why has there got to be this air of invincibility? Like, why can't characters do time inside? It feels to be like the only way people do time inside in a show is if they start the show inside, or they go in for like a week and then they're out. Why can't Tommy do 5 years? And then when you bring the next spin-off back, he gets out. Or there's like a 5-year time skip. You know, sort of anything. You don't have to wait till like 2031, is my point. Because it would be good to have that jeopardy in there. I think Par actually does an alright job with that compared to other shows as well. Gennard then tells King Kilo. Kilo's like, fuck it. You Sampson brothers have been fucking me around too often. Put a bullet in this guy. And then what happens, which I thought was quite funny, is Gennard's like, no, I'll take you to him. So Gennard and King Kilo and a few other guys rock up to JP's house. They kill the Albanian bodyguards at the door, confront JP. JP then rings Tommy. Well, King Kilo does after using his face scan. Tommy's screaming, don't you dare touch my fucking brother. And then JP's like, just because I punched you earlier, Gennard, which obviously gives Tommy the information that holy fuck, Gennard's there. And then obviously that line for JP pisses off Gennard because he's like, oh, you made me look like a bitch. And then Gennard kills JP. So Tommy Egan's brother is dead. It's about time this guy had a fucking loss, if we're being honest. Guy's been picking up W's non-stop in Chicago. I mean, I know, what do you call her? Luciana died, but this is his actual brother. So yeah, JP's dead. Tommy is crying. I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm gonna fucking kill you. And then we're like, right, okay, what's happening here? Then like it cuts back to the house, and you're thinking, Then King Kilo gives a wee speech. He's like, "Hey, Gennard, we're fucking out of the coalition. Fuck the Sampson brothers." Then the other guy makes it like, "What do you even mark it? You got beat by this faggoty motherfucker." and then Gennard just whips out the gun, drops King Kilo, kills the other guy. As the episode ends with like a song blasting, I'm the man. So Gennard is on the fucking warpath. Also this episode, Diamond killed Sandra, which means Southside, he owns half of it instead of losing half of it. I mean, Diamond's been killing people and going off the rails, drinking a lot more, but it's funny, like, Diamond's drinking, Gennard's on the drugs. I think it is inevitable that these Sampson brothers, I mean, if I was to make a prediction with 2 episodes to go, I think both Sampson brothers are going to die. Gennard is 100% going to die. I think Diamond could live, but if Gennard survives this show, man, I like my hat. I think Miguel will die. I could see Maria dying,
D-Mac will definitely survive. So yeah, I mean, I think Victor Flint, he had his chance. But I just feel like Victor Flint is such a loose end of Tommy now. There's nothing to even... It would feel almost forced if Tommy went after him. But here, 2 episodes to go. Looking forward to episode 9. Going to go watch it now. Episode 10 isn't out for another week. So hopefully that gives us time to talk about it, theory it, and yeah, Braden and Tyreek were supposed to be in this show. Maybe they're going to be in very late. Who knows? I'll get an 8 out of 10. Delivering the last couple of episodes.
The bodies are continuing to drop. Welcome back to Fog Entertainment. It is the second last episode of Power Book 4 Force. It's a shame because, you know what? I think this was my favourite spin-off. I thought season 1 was brilliant. Well, I say brilliant, maybe that's a wee bit too strong. I thought it was very good. But I think season 2 went off I think season 2 completely and utterly, folks, went off the rails. But I think season 3 has brought it back. I mean, I don't think the writing's been that good, but there's been a lot of deaths, there's been a lot of blood, and that continued. This episode will probably, arguably, or maybe not even arguably, well, probably the second biggest death of the show so far. I mean, Walter Flynn's definitely above Diamond Samson for me, but at the same time, folks, I can appreciate what happened to Walter Flynn, and I can also appreciate what happened to Diamond Samson. But obviously in terms of the show and everyone else's opinion, I do think Diamond would probably rank above this guy. But anyway, let's get into the episode. So, episode begins, D-Mac and Tommy, they're at some morgue, obviously saying goodbye to JP. Let's pick out the casket. Kate's obviously back. Oh, she can pick out the clothes. Am I the only person that just doesn't like this D-Mac character? Right? Like, I mean, you can maybe say every one of these is the same, but I feel like in TV shows they normally go down the route of these kids, these teens, these people that get into this are normally groomed by it. They get brought in, they get forced against their will to be in these like gangs, these drug gangs, right? But I don't think this D-Mac character, folks, has got any redeeming qualities. He kills his best friend here. His best friend's like, nah, I'm not doing it. You're my brother. I love you. And I know you can't do it because you love me too. And he just fucking shoots him. Right? His dad dies. And he's like, shows like zero fucking remorse. Zero fucking remorse towards the guy. It's like, you got nothing. He's like, fuck it, Uncle Tommy. Uncle T, let's get the fuck out of here. Not really my best Chicago accent, but you understand. I don't like him. I just don't. He kills Marshall. And he will get shot at the end of this episode, but a lot more on that later. Victor Flynn, let's wrap him up in a nice wee bow. Obviously last episode, confronted Tommy, got arrested, but like I said in the episode 8 review, Tommy's just got so much bigger fish to fry that this character is just pointless. For Tommy to even waste oxygen on, I just don't really see the point of Tommy going after him. And based off what happened here, he basically accuses this Shen guy of being dirty, and then he's like, I'll give you a statement that Tommy did it. But then Shen gets it changed from Tommy doing the kill. Well, he kind of sounded like he got it changed for Tommy doing the kill, but it's more like a statement for Vic to say that Stacey was compromised with Tommy, which is obviously going to bring her down. But Bobby's not too happy about that, and he's had the promise that he's not going to bring down Tommy Egan. So what he does, he goes to the restaurant. This guy's been spotted that was visiting Markovich, but it turns out obviously it turns out in this instance this guy doesn't even exist, folks. This guy doesn't even exist. So he visits that restaurant and notices Sheng meeting with Bobby. So that's going to open a whole can of worms. But again, this is the penultimate episode. I don't think these two characters are big enough to want me to care. Understand what I mean? It's like, I think the Bobby guy and Shane guy are alright, but it's like a really watered down version of what we had in the original part, when you had the likes of Sax, you had the guy for Fast and Furious, his name's just fucking eluding me. You also had the guy, was it Mike Sandfall, and then the guy that who was fucking Angela was sleeping with. You had all those guys, they felt big time, but they were connected to Angela and Ghost. But anyway, Zeng, he releases Flynn, Victor, and he then goes off with his girlfriend and escapes. But again, what I didn't really understand about this entire sequence of events is, that's just Victor Flynn done. It appeared that way. But then the promo for next week kind of hints at him meeting with someone. Who's that going to be? Did he fly back to Dublin? Belfast? I don't know where he's going. But it'll be intriguing nonetheless. But I think having Victor Flynn escape is a good idea. I don't think he should be getting killed in this finale as well. This guy needs some form of like rebuild arc where he can like rebuild his stock, because what's happened here is actually fucking downright almost disgraceful to the Flynn dynasty. He needs to build it back and do something good with it. Like seriously, like Victor Flynn should be... I almost feel like Victor Flynn should have been the one to kill JP. I know it would have made a bit less sense, or kill fucking whoever, man. Just somebody close to Tommy, like fucking Mariah and the unborn kid. Miscarriage. Victor Flynn. Come on. Because guys, it feels like this guy's been fucking jobbed out every day. It's big Victor Flynn, so is what it is. In that regards, I need to get across the road here, so is this the end of Victor Flynn? Don't think so, because he's in the trailer for the finale, so again, I see no purpose why he is though. Because what's he doing? What's he playing at? Anyway, the rest of this episode simply going to be about... I mean, also, Maria looked like she's booking a one-way ticket back to Mexico. Why the fuck's she doing that? And Kate confronts her about it. The last thing we need here is her wanting to go back to Mexico, and that's like another person for Tommy to kill. She could have just said, I want to lay low in Mexico because things are kicking off up here. And I think I panicked, you know, something along those lines. But we know Tommy Egan won't take too well to that. But the rest of the stuff that goes down this episode, right, so Diamond visits Shanti, tells her that he killed, what's her name, Sandra. She's like bricking it, she's like, well, I know things appear to be good between the Sampson brothers, but Gennard wanted to kill you, he's plotting against you, Trojan horse. What this leads to is like a confrontation between Diamond and Tommy, and essentially Diamond's like, you know I'm not going to give up my brother. Tommy's like, well, you know I'm not going to stop coming for your brother. We can end this, we can do this, we can yada yada yada. Like, I think too much is being made of Gennard here, right? Like, Tommy has been treating Gennard like dirt ever since he walked into Chicago, pretty much, right? And he didn't even know about the fact that Gennard was a junkie. He didn't know a lot about him. Like, I can understand Tommy now wanting him dead, but you feel like Tommy's wanted him dead for years, for like the 3 seasons this show's been going on. Doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, like the hatred Gennard's getting. Obviously, killing King Kilo, that's escalated things with the RDs. We just see a lot of shit this episode's happening. Shay with Tommy gets kidnapped, him and Miguel. Miguel, you have to stay here, you have to deliver that money, Tommy. Some RDs get killed by Shay's guys, but it looked like Tommy wiped out all 5 of them. So the RDs are pissed off here. They want DMAC, or else they're going to flip. They're going to go to war with the CBIs. Shanti drops the money off to Shay later on the episode. I mean, her whole fucking panties getting in a twist over meeting with Shay. Like, that's the whole reason she fell out with fucking Gennard. If you actually like realistically think about it, it's like, do we know how fucking serious this Shay guy is? Like, come on, play the fucking game here. I think it's actually ridiculous the way they were getting on like little schoolgirls. You need to, I need to meet him. It's like, shut the fuck up. This is the cartel. You know what I mean? It's actually fucking embarrassing, man. I mean, I've watched a lot of shows in my time, right? But I'm not saying this behaviour's never been done. Like, I think the way Shanti's acting here would be like a Christopher Moltisanti thing. But the difference is, when the Sopranos, when they would do it with Chris, like, remember he was at the table with Johnny Sack and Tony, he'd say something, and then Johnny'd be like, I remember when you sat in the car and fetched this coffee, kind of thing. He got belittled for it. See in Sons of Anarchy, this would be the equivalent of a fucking prospect, right? Who's never met the Glendale cartel on his puff, wanting a big meet with him, and almost like threatening to cut off his fucking patch if he doesn't meet with the Glendos. Yeah, it just comes across as cringy anyway. Was it the Armando guy? I don't know. The guy who's essentially playing double agent. He drugs everyone with the water. Seen this coming a mile off. Oh, AC, you just need to drink up. One guy's like, I don't need to drink up. He's like, here, I was like you, I was a soldier in the heat once, gets round the corner, slices his throat, good night. Then we get the final showdown. So they all storm in, CBI members are getting shot, Tommy's new wee coalition group, a lot of them are getting shot, but the big dog, Gennard, fires a shot, hits D-Mac, not fatally though, looks like he'll survive, and then Tommy's about to shoot Gennard, Diamond gets in front of him, the Golden Desert Eagle wipes it, Diamond dies in his brother's arms. To be honest folks, I'm actually kind of shocked about this. I thought this was going one way and one way only. Gennard dies and then like Diamond like properly wages war against Tommy, like legit wants to kill him. But yeah, I'm actually flabbergasted. I liked the wee conversation between them prior where Diamond was almost trying to coerce Gennard into admitting that he wanted to kill him. But I mean, correct me if I'm wrong folks, but I'm pretty sure Diamond wanted Gennard dead at some points throughout this show. Maybe I'm barking up the wrong tree, but I could have fucking swore that was the case. I mean, I guess Gennard could have said, yeah, brother, I'll admit, there were some times I wanted you dead for the way you treated me and the way you backed Tommy, but we're all good now, right? But I guess, why would he... You know, it's hard to speak about it because it's different for every set of siblings, but... I mean, with Diamond, I took that bad, but I feel like that's what Diamond wanted. Anyway, folks, I will give this episode a 9 out of 10. I thought it was really good. Action-packed, drama. Actually, no, I'll get an 8.5. 8.5.
After 30 episodes, it was finally time to say goodbye to Power Book 4 Force. Welcome back to Fog Entertainment. Series finale time, as we've just pointed out. But the future is bright. We've got Power Legacy around the corner, the return of Tyreek here. And is it the end of Chicago? I don't think it's the end of Chicago. But as hinted throughout this episode, it looks like it. Well, I mean, it clearly is still standing, but I expect that. I thought this finale was a bit weak in the sense of all-out war, which it hinted at this season. I mean, a lot of bodies have dropped, but for me, this finale, it was more to set up Power Legacy, and I think it could have killed two birds with one stone, for me personally. But my predictions, or what I would have done, kind of happened. I said Gennard and Victor Flynn would survive, and they would be essentially going after Tommy in that Power Legacy show. And I'd like that. I'd like to see Gennard and Victor Flynn form a coalition of their own and take it to Tyreek and Tommy in New York. The only problem is they're never going to kill them, and that's an immediate problem there with a show. Anyway, let's get into the review. So, episode begins. We've got the JP's funeral. Gennard thinks he's going to be able to hit them. Step the police. But can't hit them. The police are there. Tommy's like, yeah, I reached out, got the police here. Problem with this. You can't rat, you can't do this, you can't do that with the police, but you're alright to call in a favour and get your brother's funeral to be guarded by about 50 officers. You see, this is like hypocritical. I thought Tommy was the kind of guy to stand on his own 2 feet, but here he is getting Chicago's finest. The day's dirty work. I thought that was a wee bit pathetic for me. Tommy's walking back for the funeral, trying to get to his car, gets jumped by one of Fick's goons, Irish guy, gets killed. He warns Victor Flynn, I'll come for you, big man. So, yeah, this was Victor Flynn's grand old plan here. Get this guy to kill Tommy. I mean, Victor Flynn, a couple of episodes ago, killed his best friend just to please Tommy. Utterly embarrassing. And then he hires this guy who, well, when I say hires, he tells this guy who's part of his crew to go after Tommy. And he goes after him with a knife. A knife. We're in Chicago. Everybody's got a gun. Why is this guy going after him with a knife? Plot purposes, that is the only answer here. Let's be honest. Gennard calls out Raheem. He said, let me go through your phone, man. Raheem's like, nah, man, you tripping. So he takes the phone and then shoots him, and then he confirms to the rest of CBI that Raheem was indeed a rat. Maria. She decides to flee, leaves Tommy a note. Tommy's like, it makes sense we're going to Mexico. Kate as well, she's way back to Queens. She's way back to New York. Who cares? Bobby confronts Cheng. I didn't like this part of the episode for me, so essentially what happened here is he confronts Cheng, tells him, your safe word's going to be wife, and I want you to get Tommy on tape, on a wire, that he killed Stacy. But this essentially was just a setup, and that Tommy ends up must have made some form of phone call to Sheng, or Sheng made it to him. So steps in Bobby, has Tommy at gunpoint, and then Sheng shoots Bobby. Bobby's dead. Sheng will be dirty for this new coalition, which we'll get to, which has just been formed. And again, that's it. That's your whack. That's as easy. That's it. There's no comeuppance for the Chicago Police Department. Bobby's dead. Stacy's dead. Sheng announces in a press conference that those two were dirty and working with the ex-CBI members. Now that the fact the CBI pretty much gets a new leadership going out of this episode, that's your whack. That didn't sit right with me. There's another rat in Gennard's crew. They get attacked at the sawmill. Again, like, Shanti rocks up and Gennard like, eats her bullshit. And then afterwards he's like, yeah, I know she's talking shit. It's like, well, if you know she's talking shit and that she was there to set you up, why are you letting her away with it? Why is Shanti not getting a bull in her? Just ridiculous. We get a shootout here. Shanti gets shot. Miguel gets shot. Nothing fatal. Tommy's about to get battered. Again, to me, it didn't make much sense. Like, when we seen Miguel's hangout, they looked like there were 50 guys. Then in the shootout, they probably lost about, what, 7, 8 guys? So where's the other 40 odd guys? Anyway, Tommy's about to get killed, but then, bang! 3 guys get dropped around Tommy. Camera pans to Tyreek. And what I thought was weird about this, where's Braden? Where's Diana? Where's all these people? And I find that very weird, because they were literally all on Instagram with Gennard's actor, like a year and a half ago, which tells me they've already filmed Power Legacy. Power Legacy Season 1 must have already been filmed. There is no way they would just cut out main characters like that here. So, that's interesting. Gennard at this point gets abandoned by the rest of his crew. They defect to Tommy's coalition. We see a conversation between T-Rack. I was like a combination of Tariq and D-Mac. Tariq and D-Mac, my daddy. He's like, yeah, my daddy's dead. My daddy's dead. But I killed my daddy. But fucking meaningless conversation. I don't like D-Mac. I don't like Tariq, but I said don't like I like Tariq, but I don't like him overly. He's alright. So yeah, the cartels have a coalition. Wah wah wah. Fick just spends the entire episode bitching at some farm where it's got rabbits, and he's like, I'm Fick fucking Flynn. I should be back there. It's like, alright, Fick, go back then. That's what he does. So Gennard's been left high and dry by pretty much everybody at this point. You're thinking, this guy's going to die. But then a guy walks down the stairs and it's Victor Flynn. He's like, he killed your brother, he killed my sister, he's destroyed this city. How about we take out Tom Egan? So, the future is Gennard and Victor Flynn going after Tom Egan. That's interesting to me. I'm looking forward to that in Power Legacy. And then the episode ends with Tyreek and Tommy having a conversation. Tariq's like, why don't you come back to New York, move some drugs, all that good stuff with me, build the empire even more. Tommy's like, I can't just leave my family. Tariq's like, I'm not asking you to do that, but the Uncle Tommy that I know wants to build his empire, leave no money on the table. So what do you say? And then we get the original Power theme song. They say it's a big rich town. They look into the distance. So yeah, Tommy and Tyreek, we already knew this series was coming. I didn't think it would happen like this, but like I said, keep people alive from Force to use in Power Book 5 Legacy, whatever it's going to be called. And that's what they've done. Obviously got people for Power Book 2 as well. So Power Book 2 and 4 are going to combine here. I'm liking this. Chicago, is that us done with Chicago? Probably. Shanti's running CBI, Miguel's running his side of things, the cartels have merged, the bloodshed has stopped for all 5 minutes because it's Chicago at the end of the day. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty cookie cutter finale. I mean, it was cool seeing Tyreek, yada yada yada, but at the end of it was as bit cookie cutter as you could have got. There was no real big deaths. So Bobby died. Oh, what did he fucking do? Bobby, Chicago PD, died. The only reason I know the guy's name is because I take notes for the show and write his name down. Without that, I wouldn't have known his name. Anyway, I will give it a 6 out of 10. It was a fine finale, but it's a finale. It's a series finale, and all it did was set up another spin-off. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, guys, but 6 out of 10. Till next time. Peace.